The Lord's eyes watch the righteous. His ears listen to their cries for help. When I was a freshman in high school, I took a class that many have taken before and few have enjoyed, and that is geometry. I figured geometry was just going to be knowing the difference between an octagon and a circle. Turns out there was a little bit more to it. One of the things that we learned, and I struggled to comprehend, was proofs. If-then scenarios. If this, then this has to be true, and if that's true, then this has to be true, and if that's true, then this has to be true, ergo, this. You can see I have a real strong grasp of how proofs work. But I was thinking about this passage and how a proof might be applied to it, an if-then scenario that helps us to understand more about the thing right in front of us. It begins with this idea that God hears the cries of the righteous, or rather, God's eyes are on the righteous and hears their cries. So let's pick this apart a little bit with some if-then stuff. If God is watching and sees and cares about the righteous, and if God hears their cries, then that means that the righteous are crying. I know, right? Like, boggles the mind, right? This isn't hard stuff. But what's interesting is how often do we think about the righteous crying out? Now, I'm not talking about the self-righteous, the people who think they're more important than everybody else, but rather those who find themselves in a deep relationship with God are crying out for help. One of the greatest lies we can tell ourselves in the Christian faith is that a deep belief in God means no trouble in life, that it's easy street. It's not how it works. And this psalm reminds us of that even the righteous cry out. You see, I said that the greatest lie we can tell ourselves within Christianity is that the righteous will never suffer. What if we begin to tell ourselves a truth? What if that truth is that while we will face hardship in this life, no matter our faith, what we have faith in is a God who remains with us, who, like the psalmist says, sees us, hears us, knows us. My children will run throughout the house on our wood floors and linoleum, and they'll do so in their bare socks. From time to time, I'll remind them that if you're going to run throughout the house, at the very least, go barefoot so that you don't slip and slide. But at last, they always wear their socks. And it's not uncommon that we hear a brief thud, a slide, followed by a crash. And then we hear the cry. The cry comes, and we hear it, and we see it, and we come to them. God is always reminding us to go barefoot. God knows what's best for us. God knows what is a good path for us. And sometimes we are stubborn and stick our socks on and we run throughout the house. But even still, when God hears the thud, the slide, and the crash, God not only hears, but God responds. Amen.